that we're going to use is a tinted primer. Some brands call it tinted moisturizer. Laura Mercier was one of the first ones that came out with this, and
That's what I use.
followed suit. And I love hers. I just never felt like it covered quite enough. So when I developed my own brand, we added a primer to it, so it saves yet another step and added a little bit more coverage. But if you like the Laura Mercier one, you probably like mine too. They're kind of in the same realm of very natural looking. Here is what I feel like a lot of women 40 plus do incorrectly. That's most of our clientele is in that age group. They learned makeup in the 80s and 90s in high school, and they've been doing the same thing ever since. I was told when I first learned makeup in '99 that you matched your hand, either the inside or the back of the hand.
Right.
This is so much lighter. I have self-tanner on, so I don't count today, but this is so much lighter because you're shadowed here than your chest and your face is. So we are gonna properly show you how to color match. So with this guy right here, it only comes in 4 shades because you don't have to have a very specific skin tone because they dry down to 4 different skin tones, each tube. And I'm gonna give you a mirror so you can watch and learn.
Both tinted moisturizer?
It's a tinted primer. Yeah, it's a primer, tinted moisturizer, and sunscreen all in one. So let's hold the mirror right over here. And can you look over that way so you can see? Perfect. And then I'm gonna do 2 pretty thick stripes here. I'm gonna let these dry down, and we're gonna go with the one that disappears into your skin the most. I'm gonna grab the medium to dark, which is the one we went with for her. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. Not that you have to do it this way, but I feel like if you squirt it on the brush, you're just gonna lay it all on your face. That is a really good question. So I was always taught to use my fingertips or a sponge for years. But what do sponges in the ocean do? They absorb water, right? They soak up things. You don't wanna lose half of your bottle of foundation into a sponge. Fingers can't get into the grooves of the face as much. So if I'm painting on a canvas and I'm painting with my fingers, I can't get in between the fibers of the canvas, and if you turn sideways, you see little white dots. That's how I feel about pores, fine lines, and wrinkles. So with the brush, I can start towards the center of the face, drop off the most amount of pigment where we need it over the rosacea and redness, and I first swipe to sheer the makeup. Anywhere the pores are larger, like around the nose, I can twist to fill in. And anything that needs a little boost in coverage, maybe melasma, sun damage, you can just tap like this to add. Notice when I'm applying this, I'm not putting it on her neck. So you would think, oh, but my neck is white, you just showed me. I want to put it all the way down there.
That's what I do.
It's going to settle in the necklace band. So they call these necklace bands down here too. So do not put liquid base past your jawline. This is a really good breaking point for the foundation.
I always heard do it down the neck.
And I did that for many, many years. When you walk outside and someone has foundation on their neck, you can see exactly where you stopped and started with it. So now I want you to Vanna White in the camera here. I want you to pan back and forth, and you can see the difference of her skin. Very slowly turn towards me. There you go. So you see she has more of a glow. Her face is starting to match her chest better, and we've also toned down redness. One other place we did not put this product is in the eye socket area. Did you notice that? How many of you guys take your foundation and rub it all over your eyelid and underneath your eye too while you're at it? If you put things where they don't belong, you're gonna have creasing. So I bet by the end of the day, all of your eyeshadow is sweated and melted to the crease of your eye. So you wanna make sure you do not put base makeup or primer or foundation, anything like that, tinted moisturizer, around the eye socket area or past the jawline. And remember my technique of swiping to sheer, twisting anywhere the pores are larger, typically around the nose and the chin, and then tapping to hide melasma or sun damage. You're not gonna get full coverage from a tinted moisturizer or a tinted primer. This is just to give you that even veil of coverage. If you really feel like you need more coverage in certain areas, you could always take a foundation and spot treat. This is not a part of Cute and Carpool, but for someone like myself that likes more coverage, you can take just a little bit of more of a fuller coverage and build that only in the areas where needed. That way you don't have a mask all over your whole face.
That's a great idea, because I think women, as they get older, think they have to cover more, but then you get
Less
that
is
kind
more.
of pancake look where it's and not believable, and like you're right, it settles into your wrinkles.
And a lot of times people think, well, I've always been told just put it all over.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. Why not just cover it in the areas where you need to? Like if you were spackling a wall, you wouldn't spackle the entire wall, just spackle where the holes or where the nails were pulled out, right? Just kind of where you need it.
And the feathering really keeps it from getting too thick and settling. Okay.
Yeah, so now you can see when you Vanna White your face in the camera, how she just has a little boost in coverage, but only in the areas where needed.
That's great.
This next trick is one of my favorite. This is part 2 of the Cute and Carpool. and it's how to make your under eyes look lifted. So a lot of people think, oh, well, I'm so dark under my eyes, sell me the lightest color concealer
That's
you
what
got.
I do.
Not how it works. It'll end up giving you the little panda eyes or the raccoon eyes in photos too, and make you look really white. You want something to be brighter, not whiter, and choosing something that has a bit of a peach undertone is going to be more corrective. So peach or pink, you've probably even seen the little red lipstick tutorials that people are putting under their eyes to neutralize dark circles. Opposite side of the color wheel is going to neutralize, and then yellow tones down red. I've mixed mine all in one, make it easy. Look up. When you apply it, because to me it's more about application, is you want to go.
I've got that bruise from the Diasport injection. Gotta cover up.
So whenever you put this stuff on, you want to make sure you go up towards the end of the eyebrow. I always say this turns the frown upside down. When choosing a concealer, also make sure you're staying away from those matte formulas. Think of the Lancome Waterproof. Think of the Kat Von D Tattoo Cover-Up. Think of Estee Lauder Double Wear. All of those are meant to be very long wearing, but they're very, very dry and matte. The more matte it looks, the more fine lines and wrinkles it's gonna show. We wanna reflect the light, keep it creamy, use one with oil in it. So I haven't blended her out, but look straight into the camera, and you can see how that eye is already being picked up. Is that not amazing? It looks like the eye is an inch higher on the face. Take a look in the mirror real quick so you can see.
Wow.
Right through here, we had that downturn where a tear trough is. But if you correct it, it lifts up. So look up for me. But you want to make it look more like skin, so we're going to texturize it. Your finger is your best tool in your makeup bag to make things look textured and more like skin.
So here's where you can use your finger.
I still like to use a brush to get that precision and get real close to your eye. Plus, if you're using your finger to apply your concealer, you're going to be pulling on your skin, and we don't want to pull. We always want to tap. But now, Vanna White, look at that. Hey, baby. Now we're going to do this eye. So just to go over that one more time, turn your face this way just a little bit and look up. It's that little tear trough there. So we're canceling the darkness there and going up towards the end of the eyebrow. Whatever you do, do not use what's left over on your finger and put it where?
I have
On
no
your
idea.
eyelid. How many times have you taken your concealer and rubbed it up?
Okay.
Well, pink here too.
Yeah.
You don't want things with oil on your eyelid because when you blink, it's
Interesting.
going to sweat and it's going to crease your makeup. So just keep this to the underside of the eye and up against the nose. And instead of using concealer all over your face, which you can do to hide darkness, it's going to has oil in it. It's going to slip around. Instead, use the foundation to kind of cover in areas where needed. So now take a look. Looking good.
I like hearing those gasps of
It's like,
shock. Shock and awe. Wow, that's a big improvement.
And now we're going to use a setting powder. So I'm going to use this by tapping first. This is another mistake people make, not just in the 40 plus, but pretty much everybody. How many of you have little foundation nuggets on the end of your brush? You know, I'm talking about those little balls of wet foundation on the end, and you're like, God, those are hard to get out. It's because you have taken your powder and you've buffed like this. All that foundation is wiping off when you're doing that, and it's right on the end of your brush. Instead, try tapping. Tapping is going to help set the makeup, and if you have a furry face like I do, you then go back and buff. But press the powder in first, then buff.
Do you wait for the makeup to dry before you do that? Because I've always heard that you need to give it a few minutes just to dry on your skin, and then you set it with the powder.
Actually, the purpose of using a powder is to set the makeup.
Oh, so do it wet.
Yeah, I would do it right after. I don't wait for anything in between. I just boom, boom, boom. From years and years of casting that shadow up against the melasma and sun damage makes this look like it's coming forward, right? And the melasma look really dark. So what we do is we choose a bronzer color that matches the enhancement of your skin tone. And watch as I apply this product. Do you see how it's warming up that part of the neck?
You know, I was trying to cover it up. You're saying no, don't cover up this stuff. Just blend it.
Yep. Just blend it out. So
And
it's
I
not
think
quite as
most
obvious.
women my age are like, well, cover it up, just as whatever I can do to cover it up. But you're saying no. I mean,
And it's not that you can't, but you're creating one problem for the next. When you walk outside and you see
It's
makeup,
crazy.
you see imperfect skin and then perfect skin right next to it, it's not going to look natural. This looks a lot more natural, but it's taking the attention away from it.
yeah. Maybe I don't need lasers anymore. Yeah,
There
I do.
you go.
I know I do.
I've lasered my entire body. I love it. Now I'm putting the bronzer on and below the cheekbone. So,
So
my
you're doing
main,
your contour now.
I'm doing my contour now. So my main tip is do not use a bronzer with shimmer in it. What does shimmer do?
Accentuate.
Accentuates, brings things forward, like highlighter, right? What is bronzer supposed to do? Bring things in, suck it in. It's your Spanx for the neck, right?
Specs for that.
I like it.
That's perfect.
But if you use a bronzer that has shimmer in it, and I'll tell you why they do that in a second, you're confusing the shadow. It's like, what do you want me to do? Shimmer? Highlight? Contour? What am I doing here? But it is proven that products sell better when they have shimmer in them. So what do cosmetic companies do? They don't give a shit about your highlighting, contour, whatever. They know that if it has a shimmer in it, that you're gonna buy more of it. And we're drawn to things. We're girls, we like things that glitter. We like diamonds, we like things that glow,
Wow.
right? But choose one without.
Totally taken in by the cosmetic industry again.
They just think we're a bunch of dummies. But here's the deal. At the end of the day, I know that if I educate my clients, the numbers will be there, right?
Yeah.
But if someone is just walking up to a Sephora and you see something that sparkles, you're gonna pick a sparkle bronzer over a non-sparkle bronzer. But now that you know why and you have been educated,
Educated.
you ain't gonna do it no more.
By Jentry.
That's right. So now we're halfway through the cute and carpool. So it takes more like 15 minutes for me to explain how to do this look, but more like 3 to 5 minutes to apply. Give yourself a break. If it takes you 7 to 10 minutes the first time, you learning, girl. But you're gonna get faster and faster as you go.